All right, it's now 11:30. I think it's safe to go ahead and begin. Again, welcome to Ethics Week 2022. The theme of this Ethics Week is Ethics in Practice. We are the Board of Ethics and Government Accountability. My office is the Office of Government Ethics. We are charged with enforcing the Ethics Act, General Conflict of Interest provisions, the DPM, as far as the Code of Conduct, Employee Code of Conduct is concerned, and other related regulations. Our office works in conjunction with the Office of Open Government, which is concerned with government transparency. And today on the call with me is Mr. Kedrick Payne. I'll let him introduce himself. He is with the CLC, as you can see at the bottom of the slide here. And we are working in conjunction to I guess make a better communicative website or an easier to read website that also handles all the functions and information that is needed in carrying out our goals as an agency. But I'll let Kedrick introduce himself.
Good morning. Thank you, Maurice. So yes, I'm Kedrick Payne. I am the Vice President, General Counsel, and Senior Director of Ethics at Campaign Legal Center. And our organization is a nonprofit, nonpartisan group that focuses on advancing democracy through law. So what that means is that we fight for stronger ethics laws at the federal, state, and local levels. And we're very happy to participate in this important panel today.
All right. Thank you. We're happy to have you, Kedrick. All right. So we have the CLC's top 10 transparency upgrades for ethics commissions. All right. So like Kedrick said, they're a nonpartisan campaign. They issued their top 10 transparency upgrades for ethics commissions, which provided state and local commissions with innovative transparency solutions to improve how they effectively implement their ethics programs. And so in this course, we'll learn about the CLC's recommendations to BEGA and our agency's strategic plan to implement those recommendations. So we're trying to use these recommendations to better serve the district. All right, so CLC identified 3 missions in which BEGA agrees are essential in providing service to the District of Columbia. And so those 3 missions or goals was to educate and advise government officials, engage and inform the public, and then also enforce the law against the non-compliant. And so there was a number of tools that we can use to, meet this mission or meet these goals. I hope you're all familiar with that. So you got, your goal or your mission at hand, and then you need steps or tools to reach that goal. And this is part of the discussion today. All right, and this is just an overview of the 10 topics that we'll be talking about today. To achieve those goals, the CLC identified 10 tools to implement in order to promote transparency in government and protect the public trust. So I'm not going to read them or list them off. You see them here, but we'll talk about them in depth as we make our way through the next slides. And then I just got a quick question for everybody before we move forward. And you can go ahead and answer it. I'm going to drop it in the chat and we'll get a poll of, what your experiences have been with our website so far, or just interactions with BEGA in general. Can everyone see the question I just sent? Go ahead and answer. We got to know. No, never visited. No, wasn't able to find what you're looking for. This is a safe space to express any concerns as well, because we'll actually take it in and advisement. And we're in the process of doing some upgrades at the moment. And if it's something pressing that, hey, yeah, we need to do that, we'll go ahead and see if we can get it in. Got a few yeses. Got some somewhats. So that means you visited the website, but you weren't able to find what you were looking for. So somewhat. So yeah, hopefully we'll get cleared up, next time you come to the site and visit. All right, I'll let Kedra talk about this recommendation, and then I'll let you know how we tried to meet it.
All right, thank you. So it's so important for us to get this feedback that we're seeing in the chat, because the importance of this panel discussion is not simply to go through 10 different tools that we recommend, but it's also to see the importance of all the stakeholders in what the Ethics Commission does. A big part of looking at this is, why are we doing this? Why is it so important? You can determine how much the public trusts the government by knowing how much confidence they have that unethical behavior is not tolerated, that there's not a culture of corruption. And it's the Ethics Commission in each state and each locality that fights against a culture of corruption. And one key to that is to make sure that that Ethics Commission can educate, engage, and enforce the law. Educate the public, engage the public, enforce the law. And these 10 tools each are trying to help that in some way, but we need to hear back from stakeholders here to see if in fact these are the type of tools that help you be more engaged, have more trust in the Ethics Commission, and therefore have more trust in your government. So with this first tool, we have a dashboard of public disclosures. All this means is that an Ethics Commission has so much information, a large volume of information that can be overwhelming to someone who comes to the website. A dashboard allows that information to be in a format that just has metrics that matter. So for example, if you have all of the public disclosures, all of the investments and all of the assets that your public official owns, or if you are an employee and all those, that information may be disclosed, it's only useful when it's put into a metric to know what is the most common asset, or what is the potential conflict that others may have, or if there's information about lobbyists, who are the people lobbying for, who are their clients, what are those metrics that you can engage in as a public. So this dashboard is intended to draw in the public to see this information in a way that can be useful.
Okay. So yeah, so far, so somebody in the chat box asked, what does BEGA stand for? So again, BEGA is the Board of Ethics and Government Accountability. And welcome to this training meeting. And so to touch on the subject that Keith was just talking about, with dashboards and public disclosures, so far, so BEGA summarizes information, which includes lobbying reports, financial disclosure reports, gift disclosures, and campaign finance records. You're able to go to the site and, at a glance, view the number of reports that are there, and then also download it into reports in Excel format, where they're pretty, easy to read and synthesize. Now, after the updates to the BEGA website, we will include data charts to show at a glance the type of violations that we, investigate. And so I am too big on dashboards. I don't want to see a lot of information, at one time. I need it to be broken down, easy to read, and then kind of move forward as I digest it. And so with that in mind, we are implementing some dashboards, in the upcoming upgrades. BEGA will also include the volume of occurrences of particular ethics issues as compared to others. And some of the other trainings that we, mentioned either earlier today and yesterday, I think people are interested in seeing what type of, violations are happening at different agencies. And when we see that as a glance, then we know that, okay, this particular issue is a problem, a major problem, and we could spend more time in training and in addressing, certain issues. So yes, we're big on dashboards. The other points are concerning the dashboards are discussed in tool 2 concerning the heat map. So that's another subject that kind of reminds me of what a dashboard is as well, that come up in a later slide. All right, so in an example, and I use the lobbying, registration, and reporting search because this is one of my main duties at BEGA. Is I oversee the lobbyist registration and reporting, and enforce their reporting requirements. And so this is what the site looks like when searching for those reports. You can see when they filed, who filed them, and we have over 400 reporting lobbies. So you can download those reports, at a glance and search, for particular groups, names, and that nature. And then down here, this chart isn't necessarily available on our site just yet, but it's coming up in an upgrade. So it'll show, at a glance, the type of violations and the number or relative amount of violations that we see as compared to others.
So yes, I can start talking about this second tool, which is the heat map of enforcement actions. What we found with going across the country and talking to different ethics commission is that the public wants to know questions like which district, which ward for DC is the area where you have the most enforcement actions, or which agency has the most trouble where there are enforcement actions that involve the ethics commission, or what type of violation is seen the most, whether that is a gift violation or a failure to file violation, whether it's something serious or something not as serious. This heat map allows the public to see that quickly, also allows government employees to see that quickly, and then draw them into using the website. For those who put in the chat that they don't visit the website, if you are able to see an interactive map of this nature, it may get your attention and have you visit the site more often.
So yeah, for heat map and enforcement actions, so our implementation so far, as we're currently compiling data to create the heat map. The heat map will be added to upcoming updates to the BEGA website. Now, in the enforcement section of the BEGA website, it will display 2 heat maps. One, it will be a complaint map, which shows the amount and types of ethics complaints filed with the agency. And the other will be an enforcement map, which shows the type of ethics violations that resulted in a disposition. So basically, if we got a reported violation and then it resulted in a violation actually being found, then it would have the results of the disposition in that heat map as well. So each map will be color coded and based on the ethics topics. So we have the Local Hatch Act. I hope you're familiar with things. Local Hatch Act is our political restrictions with DC partisan and nonpartisan elections. Our gift giving regulations, nepotism, conflict of interest, post-employment, outside employment, government property, and preferential treatment. So those are a number of the type of violations that we see, and the heat map would include information on those subjects. And so same to the other slide, that was basically an example of the upcoming heat map that will be available on BEGA's website when we're finished with our upgrades. And then I have another question for everyone. And this isn't a yes or no question. To give, a little bit of feedback.
Are you
today is listening and staff is listening as well.
Your sound is going out, going in and out.
able to hear me better?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
So I just dropped another question in the chat box. It's not a yes or no question. I kind of want to hear your active feedback, and the office will take it under advisement. Does everyone see my question? I haven't gotten any answers just yet.
And by this, you mean you want to see whether the participants would prefer to know, for example, which agency has the most enforcement actions, or which area of the city, or things of that nature?
Yeah, so that's included in the updates. The heat map will show dispositions. And then also, if right now you can go on our website and search various violations, and you'll have the results of public dispositions that are available. FAQs. Yeah, we have FAQs that are up at the moment too, and there surely will be on the upgrades as well. All right, that's good feedback. All right, next slide.
All right, so the third tool is related to educational content for social media. This really is intended to use the best aspects of two different things. So ethics education is something that's important, but not necessarily looked at as interesting. But then social media is interesting, but not necessarily always important. Ethics committees are now combining the two, using the important information related to ethics and then putting it in a format that is interesting with the use of social media. So that is intended to engage the public more, and also to educate public employees on what the law is and what compliance looks like.
So as far as social media goes, BEGA's Twitter page is DC BEGA, at DC BEGA. Come and visit us, add us on Twitter. BEGA's Facebook page is named BEGA DC, and it currently has a presence on using your district government work or a title to curry favor or gain advantage in outside business or activity. And so we educate, through our social media. BEGA also uses social media to promote and notify DC government and its public at large of upcoming events and ethics training opportunities. And then BEGA also promotes use of its new online learning management system. And I have the website there if you all want to take note of it. You can also find it on our general website. Moment. So this is an example of that learning management tool. So yes, if you go on our website and you put in that address, or you search for it, we have a interactive, educational, entertaining to me ethics training programs, and it covers basically all of the subjects: conflict of interest, gift giving, reporting unethical behavior. It's entertaining videos and acting, and they ask questions. It keeps you engaged, and then at the end it tests your knowledge. And so if you all visit our website even right now, I'm sure you would enjoy it. You also get credit for attending the trainings, and then it will also be available on the new site, of course, as well. And then I have another question for you all before we move on. Because I want to hear feedback. Someone is saying great content. Thank you. I don't know if you've used this before. You can answer it here, but we had fun in creating it. You'll hear some of our voices in the training materials as well. And so, hopefully that gave you a more familiar touch and going through the trainings and learning the material. So I think I got one yes. I got a lot of no's that you haven't accessed it yet, but I encourage you to go ahead and look it up and access it. I think you would have a little bit of fun learning it, and it's a part of your government duty. So. All right. All right. Next slide.
All right, so tool 4. This is a very important one. It's the complaint portal. Essentially, what this allows government employees and the public to do is to alert the Ethics Commission of matters that should be investigated. And it is the perfect culmination of all of the 3 goals of the Ethics Commission. It shows that the public and government employees are educated about what the rules are, and they are engaged enough to file a complaint, and then it allows for enforcement. And so this is number 4, but it could easily be number 1.
Right. So BEGA currently has an online reporting portal that's located on its website, and the online complaint form is located at this web address here. And I have an example that we can discuss. So this is our online form. I know it's kind of small, and you might not be able to see it, but if you go to our website and search for the complaint form, it is here, and you can file your ethics complaints online. You can give us your information. We encourage you to give us your information. If you file a complaint, there are retaliation protections. You necessarily, if you see an ethics issue, you have a duty to file a complaint, and then this form makes it easy for you to get that information to us. We encourage you to be as detailed as possible in filing the complaint. But if you give us your information and we need follow-up questions, we'll reach out to you and see if we can get things clarified if you weren't comfortable, typing it here. If you choose to file, you also have the option to file the complaint anonymously. You choose to file it anonymously, just make sure you're as detailed as possible. We discussed this a little bit on our last training if you were present. If you're anonymous, just give us as much detail as possible where we can effectively investigate, the complaint or issue. So if you have, the contract information, put it in there. If you have dates and times, other people who may know, or be aware of the violation, other witnesses, put them in there. And we'll make sure that we can get through the process efficiently and effectively and get the issue resolved. Also, you can file a complaint by phone if you're, for whatever reason, unable to do it through the portal. You can also email us. And as long as you give us all the information that we need in the email, we can get your complaint processed in that form or fashion as well. All right, next.
All right, so now we're getting into the more advanced tools. So this is a searchable, sortable, and downloadable public disclosure. This is what you will start to use once you've taken those initial steps to get involved with the heat map and the dashboard that sort of entice you to see something that is simplified, to now do your own searches and get more information that is specific to what you're looking for. It's sort of like if Google didn't allow you to do searches, but only allowed you to see a list of all the data there, it wouldn't be very useful. And that is the same thing for an ethics commission that simply categorizes different topics or enforcement actions or rules, but doesn't allow you to search by what you're looking for. It's not as effective. So this is an important tool and is needed for any ethics commission that is trying to use the big data in a way that is meaningful to the users.
In that subject, BEGA's public disclosures are also accessible online.
Your sound went out again.
BEGA's disclosures are, can you hear me now? Are also accessible online, and the public disclosures are found online at this address here. And so, again, for public disclosures, they're of course submitted electronically, and then you can also review them electronically and download them and synthesize them in a number of ways. And so here is where you can search. You can search by agency, different agencies that are responsible for public disclosures. Many agencies have, public disclosures responsibilities. You can search for the year and the filing status, and you'll get, all the reports that were filed, under those agencies. You can search for, particular employees or whatever you're looking for in this function on our website.
All right, so now we're in the home stretch of these 10 tools, and these will move quicker because they really are grouped in two sections. This first section is most relevant to this audience, and that is your employees need to know quickly what you can and cannot do. How do you comply with rules that may be vague or confusing? One tool to help with advising and educating public employees on how to comply is to have an advanced search of advisory opinions for you to see what advice has already been given, be able to search for it and get clear education on what activity you can engage in. And I do believe the BEGA has started to provide this information in a way that is effective.
So I got a question in the chat regarding the previous one. So to clarify, that online searchable database is for public disclosure. So we have employees that are non-public disclosing filers, and then we have employees that are public disclosure filers. So their filings will be available on the website that are searchable. Non-public filers are not searchable on the website. And then on this subject, for advisory opinions, the database is located online. If that's the web address where you can find our advisory opinions, but you can find it in certain drop-down menus when you visit the website. So you can reach it by visiting bega.dc.gov and selecting the advice tab. And it is searchable by dates or by using keywords. We have 2 new advisory opinions that are up at the moment that are under their 30-day commenting period. And so you can review those as well. One was concerning the local Hatch Act and employees fundraising restrictions. And then the other, if I can recall, was for outside activity, I believe. But, the advisory opinions that we've produced this year and in all previous years are available and searchable online. So if you have an interest in a certain topic and you may reached out to us for advice, but we just want to see more on how we would treat the subject, those advisory opinions are available. And then this is an example of the search. My memory is correct. Yes, outside employment and private representation. These are the 2 new ones that are still under comment. And then you can see a few of the previous advisory opinions. You can search here, search by date, search by keyword, and download the PDFs. All right.
All right. So this tool, number 7, is very similar to the searching of the advisory opinion. It's online ethics advice. In other words, it's the ability for employees to quickly get advice on how to comply. And if it's not available by searching the advisory opinions, it should be available through contacting the ethics office and getting a response very timely.
All right. So again, by applying keywords to the search of the advisory opinions on BEGA's website, the user may find opinions and analysis that are applied to their issues. Also, BEGA's attorneys may be reached at bega@dc.gov. You can reach out to us by email. You can also call, and then you can get on the spot advice that's very detailed for whatever factual situation that you're you have at hand. If you call, we'll give you advice in the moment on the phone call. We often follow up with an email to sort of outline all the rules so you can see it in plain English and how they apply to your situation. And so advice is plentiful. That is a big function of our job. I have a question concerning that. One moment, answering the question in the chat. All right, so real quick, ask, have you ever reached out to BEGA for advice? Yes or no? So I got a few no's. Haven't gotten any yes. All right, to see some have worked with their agency advisor. I got a yes. Got a few yeses, got a little more no's than yes. But I encourage you to reach out to BEGA for ethics advice. If you have a particular goal with outside employment, it's encouraged to reach out for BEGA advice. Our advice provides a safe harbor where basically if we give you advice and we tell you that a certain action was okay, but it turns out on a second look that it wasn't okay, so long as you stay within the guidelines that we give, you wouldn't be adversely affected by it. You wouldn't be punished by it because we gave you safe harbor advice, and you can only get that safe harbor advice from BEGA. So if you ask a general counsel within your own agency, which that can be helpful for a number of issues, or your ethics counselor, which is helpful as well, for those more sensitive natures that would involve conflict of interest or outside employment. If it's from your judgment, if it's kind of detailed or murky, please seek our advice to get that safe harbor advice, and we are ready and willing to give it at all times.
All right, so here we are with the last three, and they all fit in the same category of public outreach or engaging the public, and that also includes government employees. So public hearing virtual attendance refers to the ability of the public to attend the meetings of the Ethics Commission without being there in person, but they can do it virtually. We found over the past few years that it is possible to have effective and meaningful meetings with people not there in person. And this is also the case when it comes to ethics. The more that the public, the more the government officials, the more the government employees get involved in the meetings of ethics commissions, especially BEGA, they will become more confident that the mission of that agency is being fulfilled and therefore have more trust in the government.
So for public hearings and virtual attendance, so visit vegadc.gov and click home and then select Vega board meetings. There are online links to attend Vega public board meetings and public hearings are virtually located on Vega's website. So we do have public board member meetings every first Thursday of the month, and for the most part, every first Thursday of the month. And so you are able to attend and view our meetings virtually. Here you can also see upcoming events such as trainings and other programs. And many of our trainings are virtual as well to make it convenient for everyone.
All right, so number 9, e-newsletters and webinars for the public. Again, the same point is for the public officials and others to have constant information available to them on the activities of the Ethics Commission to build confidence in the fulfillment of the mission of that agency.
All right, so currently, BEGA publishes a bi-monthly newsletter called Ethically Speaking. And the newsletter is found at vega.dc.gov under news and announcements. The newsletter details recent enforcement activity, local and national ethics news, and upcoming training events and seminars hosted by BEGA. This is a mechanism that we like to use to get information out and get district government engaged in ethical issues and learning about the upcoming events or past events that we're doing to make a more ethical government. And this is an example of our newsletter. And you can let me know if you ever seen it. I know our ethics counselors get a copy of this. I think our lobbyists may get a copy of this. Not sure if DC government at large sees this unless they visit our website. But it's got some good information in it, and it highlights other information that we wish you to see in the upcoming months. We are in a political season, so that's why we have the Hatch Act related advisory opinion posted, and then there'll also be related information relevant to the times, in this document as well. So people are letting me know that they haven't seen it, but they'll check it out. That's good.
All right, so we made it to the final tool. And in many ways, this can be the glue that has everything stick together. It is the home page for the Ethics Commission. If you go to the Ethics Commission after this panel discussion and you see this homepage, it is going to either have you feel invited to learn more or have you not so sure if you want to click around more. A citizen-minded homepage is a tool that can be used to make sure to engage and entice the public or any user to look at all the information that we've discussed during the other 10 tools. It's hard to get to the complaint portal or to get to the heat map or the dashboard if the homepage alone does not present itself in a way to make you want more.
All right, so BEGA is currently working to revise the homepage or the website to be more uniform and user-friendly. We currently have tabs and displays and information in a somewhat unclear format. And I believe that issue may be, not unique to BEGA. But the updates will provide the information in a more viewer-friendly fashion. And I can show you an example of that on the next slide. So this is the current BEGA homepage. And then that's the new BEGA homepage. Did you all catch the difference? You like one over the other? There's an example of our upcoming heat map at the bottom, news and announcements, everything at a glance, information to, take you right where you want to be as soon as you enter the website. I'm hoping you find those changes helpful. All right, someone said the new website looks great. I think it looks good too. All right, any questions for the CLC or BEGA? Now is the time. Someone said both the websites were very detailed, but they make the choice for the second one. That's good. The work was not in vain. So yeah, if you like the new website, thank Lynn and Ashley for that. They're heading that up and they are doing a good job. When will the new website be available? I don't necessarily have a time for that. We're shooting for as soon as possible, whenever that may be. Hopefully, maybe by the end of the year or early next year. Any other questions? All right, yeah, if you don't have any other questions, I would like to thank you for attending. Again, if you would like to reach out to us for any questions or concerns, our BEGA email is bega@dc.gov. That's also our main phone number there. Feel free to look us up. Feel free to email us. I would like to thank Kedrick Payne personally for attending and letting us share this information with you. And I hope our updates to the website, better serve the district, and you're able to get the information that you need from us, because it'll make, DC government a better place.